I'm going to spend some time again today hearing voices from all over the nation, big races and small, and what it could all mean to you and to me and to the outcome of the midterms, all right? We start here as Election Day is closing in. John Fetterman has decided to go with the old tried and true, just lie about what he supports and what he doesn't support. Listen.
How would you work with colleagues in the Senate toward climate change legislation while also being pro-fracking?
I've always supported, as long as it's been environmentally sound.
I don't support fracking at all, and I never have.
I called for a moratorium on fracking. There's no such thing as a green fracker.
I'm not pro-fracking.
2016 fracking moratorium pledge that Fetterman signed for an environmental watchdog group, as well as a 2016 tweet he sent while running for U.S. Senate.
I don't support fracking. I think it's something that has to eventually go away, and I would like to see it, transition out.
So he's never said he opposes fracking, except for all those times he said he opposes fracking. That's your Democrat running for United States Senate in Pennsylvania, and that's why he will lose. It's not because he's having after effects from a bad stroke in May, which he is. Auditory problems, we're told. Well, guess what? There's not a teleprompter for you to read in the United States Senate to keep things going, right? It's not there. Let's see. John Fetterman also continues to say he wants second-degree murderers released from jail. He wants them released. Doesn't say it well, but he kind of says it. Listen to this.
Let's start with that. Felony murder is second murder. And we are only one of 2 states in the nation that has that. And it simply was that I absolutely support life in murder for first degree. That's clear. I've always said that. So, and I believe that it's something that Pennsylvania needs to examine.
By the way, all of that has now been scrubbed from his website. John Fetterman is getting ready to lose to Dr. Oz in the Senate race in the state of Pennsylvania. And all of that information about him wanting to release prisoners, he says a third of the prisoners in Pennsylvania prisons should be released, maybe more. Of course, it's all gone now. That's what he said for a long time. All right. How about the economy? On one side, you have Joe Biden saying this is a recession coming, but if it's coming, it's not a big deal. I'm not sure it is. I don't really know if there's going to be a recession. More of the same garbage. Like inflation being transitory, which we heard over and over and over. Nobody believes. I've talked to 27,000 Nobel Prize laureates, and 27,000 of these Nobel Prize winners say there'll be no inflation. Okay, Joey, take your medicine and listen to this.
Should the American people prepare for a recession?
No. Look, they've been saying this now. Every 6 months they say this. Every 6 months they look down the next 6 months and see what's going to happen. It hadn't happened yet. It hadn't. There's no guarantee that they're going to be. I don't think there will be a recession. If it is, it'll be a very slight recession. That is, we'll move down slightly.
Okay, so there you have it. Should I prepare for a recession? No. Maybe. Just move down slightly. So that's what's being said by the President of the United States. Meanwhile, let me check your gas prices. Can I do that for you? Let's just check those real quick. Gas prices today, $3.91, down just slightly from yesterday. That's good news. It's $3.91, down from $3.92. It went down a penny. Diesel went up 3 cents. The point being is West Texas Intermediate still, it's just about $90. Brent crude just at about $95. It fluctuates a little bit. It's in the $5 zone there. Maybe as high as 95 for Brent and then down to 90. WTI maybe just getting over 90, then back to about 86. The point that I'm making is some of the preliminary inflation numbers for last month came out yesterday, showed that the wholesale inflation rate continues to be sky high, 8.5%, higher than predicted. Problems for you and I is what that means. So you've got Joe Biden on one side saying, hey, it's not a big deal. All right, not a big deal. On the other side of the economic coin, you have Larry Summers, the former Obama advisor, Treasury Secretary, saying this about Joe Biden and his decisions. Listen.
We are paying more to dangerously ship oil and natural gas on trucks because the ability to site pipelines is being held up. We are burning more coal because permits to frack and get natural gas aren't being granted.
Huh. There you have it. He is the former director of the National Economic Council, served as president of Harvard for 5 years, secretary of the Treasury. He was the 8th director of the National Economic Council under Barack Obama, serving from 2009 January till 2011. You know, so here's a guy who knows a thing or two about economics, worked for Barack Obama, also was the Treasury Secretary under under Bill Clinton. Under Bill Clinton, he was the Treasury Secretary. This guy's been around Democrats his entire life, right? He says everything you're being told is crap, frankly. All right, how about this? A little flavor from the Republican world in the center of the country. J.D. Vance, who just pummeled Tim Ryan in the debate earlier this week. He's running for Senate, and he's just crushing Tim Ryan, and here's why. Watch this ad.
20 years ago, I enlisted in the Marines. That same year, Tim Ryan went to Washington. I've never run for office before. Tim Ryan has run 13 times. He pretends he's a moderate, but votes 100% with Biden and Pelosi for trillions in spending that gave us record inflation, gas, groceries, housing, interest rates soaring, open borders, the rise of China. I'm J.D. Vance, and I approve this message because for 20 years, Tim Ryan had his chance. It's time we have ours.
And that's why he's going to win. He's just crushing it. J.D. Vance, I mean, he wiped the floor with Tim Ryan, who looked like he was late to a Halloween party during the debate. Man, he looked awful. Sorry, Tim, but you just didn't look good. All right, if you want to say something, we're going to get back to all of that. We'll continue going all over the country. We'll get back to that. But Well Connect, the hybrid geothermal system that connects your existing heating and cooling system to your well. If you have a well in your yard, that is a geothermal system waiting to happen, a hybrid system. Using a heat pump. Heat pumps are all the rage, right? Well, guess what? You can have one now and save yourself a tremendous amount of money heating this winter and cooling this coming summer. It's all true. It's all true. WellConnectGeo.com, WellConnectGeo.com. Soon to be available in Home Depot stores nationwide. Pretty exciting. I'll be right back.